See, for almost a decade, Batman has been waiting. Not inside a comic book or a movie, but inside a fighting game. Ever since Injustice 2 launched back in 2017, well, a lot of people spent years wondering when NetherRealm Studios would finally return to the DC universe. During that time, the studio released Mortal Kombat 11, then Mortal Kombat 1, while the world of Injustice remained completely silent. New superheroes appeared, new movies arrived, entire comic storylines came and went, yet the alternative DC universe created by NetherRealm seemed frozen in time, leaving a lot of people with one giant question. What happened next? That question is a big reason why rumors surrounding Injustice 3 have now become pretty exciting. NetherRealm, in fact, does not officially announce Injustice 3, however, multiple reports during 2026 pointed to the possibility that the game may finally be in development. Much of the speculation, in fact, began after references to Injustice 3 reportedly appeared on the resume of a Warner Bros. Games artist adding fuel to years of rumors surrounding the long-awaited sequel, so whether those rumors prove true or not, they raise a very interesting thought. What would an Injustice 3 actually look like in 2026? Because the gaming industry is very different now than it was almost a decade ago. The DC universe is different, technology is different, even NetherRealm itself is different, and that creates an opportunity for what could possibly become the most ambitious superhero fighting game ever made. One reason the Injustice series has always stood apart from other fighting games is that it was never really about fighting. See, most fighting games build their identity on tournaments, rivalries, and competition. Injustice certainly has those elements, but the series also places enormous emphasis on storytelling. We would say that's what made the first game so memorable. Players weren't simply choosing between Batman and Superman, they were witnessing a world where Superman lost everything and slowly became the way things he once fought against. The sequel expanded that universe even further, the new alliances formed, old rivalries returned. By the end of Injustice 2, the future of the world was once again uncertain. Now, a potential Injustice 3 would finally have the chance to continue that story, and honestly the timing feels perfect. The DC universe currently contains more characters, storylines, possibilities than ever before. New heroes have become popular, new villains have emerged, entire corners of the DC multiverses receive fresh attention. A modern Injustice 3 could use all of that, not by overwhelming players with endless complex mechanics and whatnot, but by focusing on what the series has always done best. Taking iconic heroes and placing them into situations where every decision matters. Like, imagine a story that no longer focuses entirely on Superman versus Batman, where that conflict has already shaped two games. A third entry could explore something larger, the rebuilding of a fractured world, the consequences of previous wars, the rise of entirely new threats. See, the DC universe is filled with characters, powerful enough to reshape reality itself. Characters like Darkseid, Anti-Monitor, Trigon, Necron, and countless others could create a conflict far larger than anything the series has attempted before. The interesting thing is that Injustice has actually never needed to copy comic books directly. Its greatest strength comes from adaptation, taking familiar characters and placing them into unfamiliar circumstances. That freedom allows the writers to surprise players, and surprise is one of the hardest things to achieve with these superheroes. Everyone already knows Batman, everyone already knows Wonder Woman, Flash. The challenge is finding new ways to use them. A third game could accomplish that beautifully. See, there is the roster, which may be where Injustice 3 becomes truly special, since one of the biggest advantages DC possesses is its depth. Every generation has its own favorite hero. Some players grew up with the Justice League, some connected with Teen Titans, others prefer Green Lantern mythology, some love just the supernatural side of DC, others want street-level heroes. The possibilities, you could say, are practically endless. Like, imagine a roster where classic heroes stand alongside newer fan favorites like Batman, Superman, Flash, Green Lantern, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Harley Quinn. All of those characters like Constantine, Beast Boy, Blue Beetle, many others, just expanding the universe even further. Like, the goal wouldn't simply be quantity, it would be variety. Every character should feel distinct, every fighter should feel like represent a different corner of the DC universe, because that variety is what keeps fighting games alive for years. Combat itself, of course, could evolve significantly as well, since NetherRealm spent years refining its fighting systems through multiple Mortal Kombat releases. The series accumulated an enormous amount of experience since Injustice 2, and any further sequel would likely benefit directly from those lessons. The game stages, on the other hand, are some of the most famous locations in comic book history. I would say a next generation Injustice could finally showcase those locations at a scale worthy of their legacy. The character models themselves could benefit tremendously. One common request actually from fans across community discussions involves stronger visual identity and more comic-inspired art direction. Players frequently discuss how future entries could make heroes feel even more distinct while embracing the larger-than-life nature of the DC comics. That feedback makes sense. Superheroes should feel iconic, we know that. The moments Batman appears on screen, players should immediately recognize him. The same should apply to every other character as well. Strong visual design matters, especially in a universe filled with these legendary heroes and villains. One area where Injustice has always excelled is the cinematic storytelling. NetherRealm arguably produces some of the best story modes in the entire fighting game genre. Like, rather than just treating narrative as an afterthought, the studio builds entire campaigns around its characters and conflicts and goes to town with it. That's one reason players continue asking for Injustice 3. They aren't only waiting for new fighters, they're waiting for the next chapter, waiting to see what happens next. That emotional investment is rare in fighting games, and it's incredibly valuable. People still care. 9 years later, they're still talking about this series, still debating it, still imagining storylines, still wondering when the next announcement might arrive. That's not nostalgia, that's demand. Right now, Injustice 3 remains exactly what it has been for years, a rumor, a possibility. Yet if the game truly exists, then NetherRealm has an extraordinary opportunity in front of it. Not simply to create another sequel or to revisit familiar heroes once again, but to build a definitive DC fighting game. A game where every corner of the DC universe feels alive, a game where the stakes feel enormous, a game where players can step into the boots of their favorite heroes and villains once again, and also a game that finally answers the questions fans have been asking since 2017. What happens next?